is a short video on how to reassemble the treadles when they get out to Malawi or to wherever they're going. First, we're supplying a toolbox for the person to reassemble the treadles, and inside the toolbox you find a tin of grease, which I'll show you. 5 spanners, 2 3/4, 1 5/8, 1 9/16, and 1 3/8. These are all imperial. The measurements are all imperial because the sewing machine nuts are all imperial, they're not metric. You also have within the toolbox some screwdrivers, long nose pliers, and then engineer's pliers. So these will be arriving with the tool, with the shipment, in order for you to reassemble the treadle. So let's put these out of the way just for a minute, and we'll look at the treadle. The treadles will come like this. There will be a bottom and a top. There are 8 treadles coming, number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on, and this will be marked number 1, and this will be marked number 1, so that you put the same top to the same treadle. It's really important that you do not mix them, otherwise you will have problems in terms of using the treadle with the sewing machine. You will also have attached to the table a belt and 4 screws for attaching the treadle to the top. So we'll put this just out of the way for the moment, and then we'll open the box, and inside you will see a disassembled treadle. What we will do is we will take it away for the moment. That is the foot. This is the dress guard. You have 2 legs. Be really careful when you're taking it apart. If you drop any of this, it will break and you won't be able to fix it. Do not lay it like that, because it will fall down. Put it flat. Always put it flat. You then have another leg. You have a wheel, and you have a frame. You also have, in some of them, you will have a belt guide, and not all of them, you will have a dress guard. Okay. This is a wooden drive rod. You have to be very careful. There are metal ones. I'll show you how to do the metal one in a minute, but the wooden ones you have to be careful. So the first job we're going to do is we're going to connect one leg so that we can put it up and give it some stability, because trying to operate like this, things will break, especially the wooden drive rod. You've got to be very, very careful. So we'll take one leg, and you notice with the leg you have a bottom and you have 2 tops. It only goes into one of these holes. So when you're putting in this must always be leaning away from you like this, never going like that. So in the 2 holes, in this case it goes to the back hole. Okay? Sometimes they are just a bolt. In this case it's a cone and nut. And you can see the shape. It's a little cone, and it goes into there, and that goes in. We've got this one. It's important you take your time when you're doing it. If you rush, you will possibly damage the treadle, and then you no longer have a treadle that's workable. So, I'm going to lift it up like this. I'm putting my finger underneath to hold it. And now I get my spanner. It's probably 3/4. No, 5/8. You want it to be tight. If you over tighten, you could break the machine. break the treadle, break the jig. Is to take your treadle or your pedal part of the treadle, undo this. You need to get a small screwdriver, which is this one. You need to dismantle this, you need to unscrew this little screw here. When you're unscrewing it, hold your fingers here because there are 3 parts inside that you do not want to lose. If they drop on the ground, you may not find them. Take this part out, look at the shape. It's really important that you look at things when you take them out. You have this here, shape. You have a little metal washer, and you have this. The idea behind this is that this goes through here when it's on the inside, and if there's no metal washer, it will push here, but it will break the wood. So the idea is that you have a metal washer that pushes the wooden part here. The beauty about the wooden drive rod, if any part breaks, you can make it yourself. The metal one breaks, then you've got real problems making it. Okay, so you need to put this somewhere safe, so we'll put it inside the box so it doesn't get lost. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start by putting this on. Don't loosen both. Only loosen this one here, and this is a 3/4. Once you loosen it, you get your screwdriver and take it so that it's completely, don't take it out completely, just take it out so that it's flush here. The wheel is shaped with a curve like that. Do not put it in with a curve going down, always with a curve going up. The drive rod must be with the wheel, so it doesn't go this way round because it's not connecting. You put it this way, and make sure the drive rod is out the way, not inside here. So it's like this. Okay, but first you must take a little bit of grease, a small amount, and you must put it into here. And the same on this side. It's really important that you grease these and that you get people to oil them regularly. Otherwise the cones wear away and then the treadle starts to move and doesn't work very efficiently. Put that in, tighten it down. Tighten it finger tight. It's not moving. You then go back a 1/4 turn. You hold it and you tighten. That's moving freely, but there's no movement this way. So if you do it wrong, and most of the treadles that I've seen in Tanzania and Uganda, you're getting movement. You do not want movement, it will make the treadle wear much quicker and will not last as long. So you go finger tight, then back 1/4 of a turn, hold it, and then tighten up, then test it. Nice and free, no movement, perfect. You then get your cloth and just wipe away any excess grease that may have come out. That's your first job done. Next, we get the wheel. Again, you need a tiny little bit of grease, don't put too much. And also in here. And this is where you need to be very careful. You have to get that part, which is thinner, must be inside. So what you do is you hold this really strongly, you put it in like that, you twist very gently, and you pull like that. I'm going to show it again. You get your wheel, you put it in. You must hold the drive rod. If you force it, you will break it, okay? Once you have it in, then you need to lift it over here, and then you need to lift it into position. But I've jumped the gun a little bit. I need to show you something else first, so you get a chance to see this again. You need to move this cone. You notice the way the nut is on the inside? Most of the time, the nut is on the outside. Okay, so in most of the treadles you will find the nut here. In this one, this model, the nut is on the inside. So do not be confused. Lift this all the way up. Just back in. And put this in like that. And then put the nut here. And tighten this down. And you can see why the nut goes on the inside, because there's not a lot of thread left on top. Most of the other ones that you will get, the nut will be on the outside. So have a look at the treadle before you start. There, the wheels finger tight. Go back a quarter. Hold it. And tighten. Then turn the wheel, see if it moves freely. Check for movement up and down. No movement up and down. It's just a little bit stiff. Just going to loosen it a tiny bit now. That's better. I'm always checking, no movement. Yeah, that's better. Okay, next step, we take off these for the leg. One, put the nut back on, you won't lose it. Two, take your other leg. You may need somebody to help hold it for you while you put it on. Pop that in. Put that on there. Now we haven't finished with the wheel yet, but I need this on in order to stand the treadle upright so I can finish it. There we go. Tighten that up a minute. Just over stretching. Okay. Lift it up. Now you can see that we're nearly finished in terms of the treadle. Turn the wheel. The pedal should always be at the bottom. If it sits like this, then you're too tight. So turn it and let it see, and the weight should just naturally pull it down to the bottom, like that. Just finish tightening these. Okay. The next step is we need to put this back. So we need to put this in, secure the drive rod. So we have a little wooden block of a half moon on it. We have a little washer, whoops, and we have a half moon nut. So first you put it right at the top, you put the wooden block in. Then you put the little half moon in, and you try and get so that you're actually starting to tighten it. That seems to be okay. And the problem is the block's the wrong way round because some of it's sticking out here, so I need to turn the block the other way. In order to do that, I need to take out the half moon nut. So it's important you get things in the right direction. So obviously I had that one in the wrong way. Put that in. Put that in there. And then put that in to get started. And this is why I need my glasses, because I need to be able to see the spacing for the washer to go in. So the washer goes in here. I need to pull that out a little bit. And the washer's in the middle. Make sure you catch the washer. If you don't catch the washer, it's not doing anything. Then what you do is you tighten this. Right. Now, finger tight, back a quarter turn. A little bit too tight. Right at the top. Let's just see if it'll go all the way. I think it could be. This needs loosened a little bit. That's it. Okay. It's important you do the final adjustments. Then make sure everything is tight. There's no movement. Also hold this. Check out. A little bit of movement. So we need to tighten this up. Okay. Right. So next we put on the dress guard. Now this one doesn't have a spring. Some of the treadles do not have dress guards. They're not that important. You just got to be careful your dress doesn't get caught in the machine. It goes on here. Bring it up, and it's got to be that hole. It's got to be in line with this. Then you turn it to make sure it's not catching. It isn't. Then you have a belt guide. Again, some of the machines have belt guides, some of them do not. Put it on. So again, it's a comb. Goes in this way, it goes in that way, and you have a little nut. Oops. Push that through a little more, and then your little nut goes on there. And I believe this is a 9/16. Nope. This is 1/2 inch spanner, so it's another spanner that we have to include in the kit. Okay, that is finished. What we now need to do is put the top on it. So let's put the grease away. We're going to need this tool and this tool. And we're finished with this one. So, we take the treadle down. We bring over the top. The top has 4 holes in it. These are for the 4 holes on the top of the base. We lift it up. We lift it over. And obviously the wheel goes this side because that's where the belt is going to go. We bring over our little bag, and each bag, the belt for all 8 treadles, goes with the particular treadle, so do not mix them up. Do one at a time. You have 4 screws. You line up the holes. Don't tighten it fully because we need to get the others in. Once all 4 screws are located, you tighten them up. If any of them are spinning, keep turning. You will need to take it out and put a little tiny piece of wood in, because sometimes the holes get a little bit bigger. The more times you take the treadle in and out, the more the hole gets bigger, and then the screw doesn't hold as well. Also be careful, if you miss, you get little bits of metal, so just get a little bit of emery paper, sandpaper or file, and just file the tops. If you push down, then you won't slip. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to put the machine inside. Very gently. Lower it down, and then lower it down like this. You take your 99K, you put it in, a little bit of a struggle, some of them are a bit tight. If you look at the belt, you've got a clip, and the clip runs along. You do not want to twist the belt like that. You got to keep the belt straight. So put the belt around here first of all. Put it down. You've got to get it through that hole. Well, how are you? Let me finish this. Okay. You then. Awkward. Bring it through here. You must go through here. That's what I forgot to do. I'm in the wrong way. You need to make sure you get it in. You miss one thing, you have to take it off and start again. Put it through. Now the indication is that's the outside, that's the top, not that way around. You can see where it's been squashed. So if you're not sure, just by looking at it, you can determine which way around it goes. You then have that. You then squash it at a slight angle. You then put it on there, and you get this lip to catch it, and that lip pulls it on. And that is how you put your treadle together. Good luck, take it slowly, and keep referring to the video or printed matter if we send out some pages to show how it goes together. Thank you. lesson on one of the treadles that you're going to be getting. Instead of a wooden drive rod, we have a metal drive rod. These are similar to the ones you buy in East Africa, in Malawi from China. You have the ball bearings, you have a metal drive rod, and you have your pedal with the hole in it. So as before, there's no movement, it's moving freely. That's moving freely. A little bit of movement there, I need to tighten up, but you know how to tighten it. You loosen, move the screw, quarter turn. I'm going to show you how to connect the metal drive rod. First, you get a little bit of grease and you put it into the receiver, a little cup here. Close it over, don't put too much, just enough. On the other end you have a little nut which moves, so you put it into here and you tighten up. There's a wee bit of adjustment on that depending on your length and the floor. Then you tighten up with a 3/8 spanner. Okay, and you put this in here. And this little cup goes on there with the grease in it. Then what you need is a screwdriver. This nut moves, so I'm just going to move this nut closer to the position. You put that in, then you tighten it together. Now, you can see there's movement there. If there's movement, you're going to get a lot of wear, so you don't want a lot of movement on that. It's a 3/4 tighten it, movement. So you loosen and you tighten this up 1 turn or half a turn. You need to hold this other one, then you tighten again. You need to hold this, still movement. Going to hold this. And tighten again. Still some movement. No movement. Now that's moving freely. If I over tighten it, then what happens is it doesn't move. So do not over tighten. You do not want it too tight, and you do not want to have movement either. So you've just got to judge still a little bit, and just tighten, and that should be enough. Yep, so that you get nice rotation of it. Make sure there's no slack in any of these. There's no movement up and down, otherwise you need to tighten. If you tighten too much, then you don't get any movement. So you just got to get the position just correct. So that's how you do the metal one, and as I say, we've already done the wooden one. So good luck.